Let's go. They've got everything. Everything Caravan and Camping. They've got everything.
Great to have you with us with our Everything Caravan and Camping podcast, sponsored by ECC Parks. My name's Scott Hillier from Channel 7. Now, every week we are going to take you to an ECC Park destination around this great country of ours. We're going to get you there safe with our Weight and Towing Masterclasses. We've got tech tips. We're going to chat with influencers as well as you, the listeners. We want to hear your questions, where you've been, what you're up to, something you want to know, something I haven't said, all of that. And every week we're going to chat to the greatest chef ever given an open fire and a set of tongs, none other than Harry Fisher from Fire to Fork. I'm pretty excited. Let's go. Come on. Now, ECC, it's a 24/7 marketplace for all things caravanning, camping and four-wheel driving. With more than 10,000 products available from hundreds of popular brands, you'll find everything you need for your next outdoor adventure. Don't forget, subscribe to the newsletter and save a further 10% off the best brands, products and prices. They're only a click away. Come on.
Let's go. Everything Caravan and Camping.
Okay, it's that time of the podcast where we do our Weight and Towing Masterclass. Now, when I say weight, Dave, I want you to look at me and say, Scotty, come on, how is that weight going?
G'day, Scotty. How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. Busy. A lot of stuff
boss,
going on with a lot of stuff going on with the caravan shows.
Yeah.
We've got that at the moment.
Yeah, that's good. So, mate, what I thought we'd ask you today, because you've been giving some great tips over the last few months, but you must get something that rings in your ears at all the different shows and events safe you do. What are some of the things that you find 1 in 5 are coming up and saying or asking the team, what about this? What about that? Can you pick 2 or 3 common topics that we can tell the ECC world?
Yeah, exactly right, Scotty. So with the Weights and Towing Masterclasses, which we do at all the caravan shows for Caravanning Queensland, we do 2 sessions a day, take about an hour and a half for each session, and it's all about safe towing practices, towing equipment. And through the course of those presentations, we always get a lot of questions about, individual questions from people about various things. And then, of course, once the presentations are finished, we usually get hit with quite a few more questions where people come up and talk to us on one-on-one. And when I'm thinking about it, a lot of the questions we get all relate to people saying, I didn't really realise what everything weighs. And in one of those presentations we do is we have a number of items there which we load into a caravan, and people can see on the scales are sitting there reading out their actual weight, so they can see as they put that stuff in the caravan what it does to the ball weight and what it does to the wheel weights, and people are quite taken back by it sometimes.
Yeah, because it adds up. It does add up quick, doesn't it, Dave? You guys talk about it, but people go, we'll put an extra jumper, put a bit, and before you know it, you're over. And if you don't check, you have no idea.
Yeah, and there is a lot of that. The other thing, I suppose, is there's a lot of confusion about all the weight terminologies and acronyms, which we've talked about before in one of the other podcasts. For instance, in one of those sessions during the day, we do a loading challenge. So we have 14 items sitting in front of the caravan, and we ask people if they can pick the weight on each item, and then also the total weight of the items. In those 14 items, most people will say, it weighs between about 100 to 130 kilos. Unfortunately, we already know what it all weighs, and it's close to 190 kilos. So people are underestimating the weight by probably about a third. If they're doing that and they're putting it into their caravan or their car for that matter, then they're underestimating what everything weighs, and you've only got a certain amount of payload you can put in both those vehicles.
Yeah, so weight is definitely the biggest thing that you guys get asked. So what does it actually do, Dave? If you've got your caravan overloaded or overweight and you don't know, or your vehicle, what are some of the things that could happen, you could be at risk of?
Oh, yeah, that's right, Scotty. Caravans and cars are like machinery. So, say an excavator, it has a safe working load limit. So, with a car and a caravan, they've got limitations as well. So, we've got a gross vehicle mass of the car. So, this is what the car manufacturer says is the maximum allowable weight that car can have. We also have the aggregate trailer mass and a couple of other ones for the caravan. But once again, it's the caravan manufacturer saying, this is the maximum allowable weight that caravan can weigh when it's fully loaded. Now, especially with a car, if you overload that car by a couple of 100 kilos, then what we really don't know what's going to happen is how's all the safety features, how's the braking, how's the gearbox, how's all that going to operate when it's exceeded its load limit. So that applies for a caravan too.
Yeah.
If a caravan is overloaded by a couple of 100 kilos, is the suspension going to handle it? Is the chassis going to handle it? So it's a matter of getting it right before you set off. And then if you've got those weights well within their limits, then everything should behave properly.
Yeah, that's right. And it's pretty simple to find out. Like you and your team will go to someone's house, won't you? If someone's unsure and they want to get someone like yourself out, you do house visits and go and measure, or they can go somewhere,
Yeah, that's right. Look, we started 7 years ago, and we were the only business of its type in the country. Now there'd be over 100 companies around the country doing weight compliance reports. You can still go to a public weighbridge. There's a number of options for you. So the options now there's a lot more options now to check those weights. So the idea is with us is we go to the client's home, we weigh their car in a caravan on site, we give them a detailed 5-page report, which we print out, but more importantly, we sit down there with them and go through it, explain to them all those confusing acronyms and go through their weights. And if they are overweight, give them ideas on how they can fix that. Yeah. And most of it is fixable. It's just a matter of knowing where you are to start with and then working with what you got.
It's all about peace of mind. I know we talk about it regularly, but if you know you're under the weight, if you're listening and you know you're underweight, at least when you know you're on the road, you're just a little bit of a weight off your shoulder, because it's daunting enough. You jump in your vehicle. If you haven't done a lot of towing, you've got a big van behind you, or you're driving a motorhome or a camper. It's a bit of a worry, Dave, getting on the road. So to know you're underweight, that's a little peace of mind. Get to A, then get to B, get to C safely. That's the ticket.
That's right. And as road users, we've all got a legal responsibility to other road users, but we've also got a responsibility to make sure that our family and our travelling down our road in our 6-tonne worth of car and caravan, if we've got it within its limits, then we know it should all behave properly. So we've got road safety is the most important factor in all the weights and towing masterclasses we talk about. And it's really pushing that angle on it, because there's so many more caravans on the road these days. As you would know, in the last 4 years when COVID hit, so many more people went out and bought a caravan instead of going overseas. There's a lot more people on the road doing it, and it's a great life. It's just a matter of
make sure you do it right. How can people get in touch with you, Dave?
Yeah, our website is mobilecaravanweighing.com.au, and our phone number is 0477897700, and I operate in Brisbane. We've got offices on the Gold Coast, Toowoomba, Coffs Harbour, and even in Darwin. So just have a look at our website and we'll give you all their numbers.
Good on you, Dave. We'll chat again next week, mate.
Thanks, Scotty. Good to talk.
It's that time of the podcast, catching up with Charlie for a few tech tips and what's new in the world of everything caravan and camping. And by the sounds of things, I can even feel the smile on your face about what you're going to tell the ECC world about, Charlie.
Oh, I've been waiting a long time to announce this, and I'm so glad it's now official. We have, coming to our range in April, upright fridges.
Wow. I just assumed, surely the boys have had upright fridges, but no, this is the first, and it's very exciting.
It is, and I have to clarify, it is the Vitrifrigo range. We are now the suppliers and stockists and retailers for Vitrifrigo in Australia.
Well, so where are they built? Where are they from? A bit of a backstory there, Charlie?
So, yeah, there is. So these are an Italian brand fridge. So they're made in Italy and they get sent over here to the great land of Oz.
Yep.
And they have been around for yonks now. They were one of the biggest players a few years ago. They have stepped back since they didn't have a major distributor in Australia, but now that we've taken them over, we're going all in. It's going to be the next big thing since sliced bread.
Wow. So I guess, mate, people listening want to know, just run us through the sizes and the application. Where are we going to be using that size, and for what, where are we taking it to barbecues? We're taking it away camping. Just explain a bit of the range.
That's what I'm loving about these fridges. So for long, we haven't had a drawer fridge in our range. Yeah. Now with this, we have a 30-litre drawer. And then with the uprights, we're starting from the 60 and going all the way through to the big 250 slimline fridge.
Wow.
And that's just covering the whole range now. We're covering canopies, we're covering four-wheel drives, we're covering SUVs, all the way through the big caravans. We're going to be able to supply the market and just take over the world.
Yeah, so the big ones, you're talking the big uprights in caravans, exactly what you're saying now.
That's it.
Oh, wow.
That's it, mate. So the same ones that you've seen on your travels with Creek Coast, you're going to be able to see Vitrifrigo all through there now.
Yeah, wow. That's exciting for you guys. So launches in April?
Launches in April. So we've officially announced that they are coming to Oz.
Yep.
And in April, we will have our first batch of the brand new Vitrifrigo range.
Yep.
And I have to say, it is an absolute game changer, and I'm so keen to get my hands on some of these and go out and play.
Yeah, so obviously people listening are going, wow, we've got to check these out. We're getting a van, or we're getting a new canopy done. So,
100%. And the way the market's moved now, post-COVID, everyone's going back to a fair bit of, we can now put this into your van, we can take that out of your van. And I definitely recommend to everyone out there, if you're going and order a new van, if you're at the Gold Coast a couple months ago, if you're a Brizzy in a couple months, go and go down, talk to your dealers, say, I've heard about this Vitrifrigo range, I 100% want this in my van, and they can make it happen.
Because, Italy, it's quality, mate. You and I have spoken off air about it. I mean, they are schmick.
And that's it. Well, there's a lot of brands out there that are China-based brands.
Yep.
And I have to say, yes, they can produce the numbers, they can produce it cheaply, but at the end of the day, if you want something that's going to work, going to be reliable, and now we're going to all these remote places, one thing you want is your cold beer.
Yeah, cold mangoes, cold beer, whatever. Cold.
That's it.
Cold. And, mate, people listening just want to know where they can check them out. Where can we see them?
So they will be up and live on everythingcaravancamping.com.au.
Look at you, all the answers. Mate, it's always great to chat. Charlie, thank you, my friend.
Awesome. Thanks, Scotty. I'll talk to you next week.
Come on. Let's go. Everything Caravan and Camping.
It's that time of the podcast we catch up with our influencers, people that are in this industry that make a bit of a difference, and I've found one. It's taken a while, but I've got a good one. Marky Carson from Your Caravan Man. Hello, mate.
Scotty, how are you?
As I say to you always, chipping away for a battler.
That's it. And you are a battler.
Yes, I love it. Mate, you and I go back a fair way. You've been in this caravan RV industry for many, many, many years. To the point, before we talk about what you're doing now, we did a trip on Creek to Coast. You had the wife, the lovely kids, and we did all the way to the Cape, my friend.
We did, mate. You had the pleasure of meeting my beautiful family.
Yes.
But, what a trip, Scotty, wasn't it, Cape?
It was good, and I guess was it your first to the Cape as well, Mark? It was.
It was. Absolutely it was. And, it was just one of those bucket list events, mate, that I reckon everyone's got to do it.
Yeah, I didn't get to tow a van, but you actually towed a van and all the way to the top. Was it easier than what you thought? Because I guess, Mark, there's a lot of people listening thinking, I'd love to do the Cape. What, he towed a bloody van? But pretty simple, wasn't it, really? We touch wood, we had no dramas.
Yeah, I think the label of the show hit it on the head, Scotty, which was do the Cape your way.
Yeah.
And look, we were there as the family. I didn't want to put our van through any unnecessary stuff that would cause it some issues.
Yep.
Obviously, being in the game myself. Yep. Mate, we did it on the PDR and we did everything correctly, your tyre pressures and all the things you should do. Yep. And we did it. We did it beautifully, Scotty.
Yeah, 100%. And travelling with the kids, I know people listening going, should we take the kids, shouldn't we? But, mate, you're all for it. The kids had a ball.
Oh, look, they did. And look, kids are like, we can't swim in the water up there, Dad, and that sort of stuff. But the creeks and the waterfalls and the areas we went into were just phenomenal. And getting that van down into things like that Fruit Bat Fall, Scotty, if you remember.
I do.
The van in there.
Yeah, it was crazy.
No dramas.
Yeah, it was good, mate. So, mate, these days you have a business, Your Caravan Man, so you look at maintenance and insurance work and all of that. So I guess you're talking to people that are having issues or doing something wrong every day, aren't you?
That's correct, Scotty. Yeah, look, I've got together with a few of the guys here that are in my team that we've pulled together, known from the industry a fair while. Yep. There's actually 6 decades of experience here, Scotty.
Wow.
So we're very lucky to be able to pass it on to our customers.
Yep.
But, look, the takeaway thing at the minute is to just make sure you're prepared. Do those little checks before you take off. Everyone's got the checklist. Pop the couple up on our socials.
Yep.
The Easter break so they can catch up with those. But look, I think the main thing is look after your investment because that's what it is. It's an enjoyable recreational investment. And the biggest thing I'm finding at the moment, Scotty, is people running down the side of trees.
Oh, okay. Yep. So what damage is that? I would think little tree, not too drama, but it can cause a bit of grief.
Absolutely. Look, most vans are composite cladding these days, Scotty, and that's actually a powder coat. It's not a 2-pack paint on it. They're actually scratched quite easily, but a lot of people don't know that's why you pay your insurance. Something like that happens. Yeah. We can repair it. That's money out of your pocket, which we all don't have a lot of at the moment with tough times. So look after your investments, watch your towing, mirrors, set your mirrors up correctly, get a decent pair of mirrors so you can see what you're doing down the sides of your vans.
Yeah, because actually mirrors is a good one, and you bring up a good point, Mark, because by law you've got to have a mirror that you can see the back of your van, if I'm correct, and I don't quite, but I'm pretty sure your standard mirror just won't cut it if you're towing a big van.
That's correct, Scotty.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%. And having your two mirrors, in my opinion, can be a little bit dangerous. You don't know which one to look at. Something like your mirrors that you replace nowadays, they're fantastic, Scotty, because they look like a normal mirror, but they perform as they're supposed to for legal requirements,
Yeah, lovely, mate. And for people, Mark, that are listening that are maybe going to do a 3-week or a month or two, what's a couple little things? You've got to point A, you've stayed for 3 or 4 nights. Is there a couple little checks that you recommend you should do before you head off on your next little 200-300K stint?
Wheel nuts, check that you haven't maybe had too many of the nice beverages that we certainly did up in the Cape there and forget to do things the next morning. Awnings, make sure your awnings are tied away. Make sure all your hatches are locked. Windows. Make sure your blinds are open. You're not supposed to travel with blinds closed because they do the damages. Make sure your blinds are open. Hatches. So make sure your hatches are locked, but the blockouts are open so they don't bounce around. Fridges. Clear your fridges. Cupboards. Just do a thorough check from walk through the van and check that everything's closed.
Lovely, mate. So just reiterate, my caravan man or your caravan man, whereabouts are you, mate, and how can people get in touch with you?
Well, I'll always be your caravan man, Scotty.
I love that.
Yeah, mate. We are at 11 Machinery Avenue, Rwanda, on the beautiful Sunshine Coast.
Yep.
Scotty, we look after everyone, mate. We do warranty work as well. So if you're on the road travelling and you're coming through this beautiful part of the neck of the woods, drop in and see us. Good
on you, mate. Always good to chat, and I look forward to having another cold beverage with you sometime soon, mate. Thanks, Mark.
All right, thanks, Scotty. Take care, mate.
Okay, that time of the podcast where we get our notebook, we get our pen and or pencil, we get a bib on because we pretend we're eating with this great man, Harry Fisher, Fire to Fork. How are you, buddy?
Going very well, mate. Going very well.
Yeah, now talk about busy.
Very nice and hot over here.
What are you up to? Your social media, you're ginormous, mate. People are loving what you're doing, which is good. Second book, what else you been up to?
Oh, mate, at the moment, I'm actually just trying to dodge fire bans.
Yeah,
Because I'm doing cook on fire.
Yeah.
And it's been bloody hot and dry over here, so I'm running around all over the state, chasing rain, chasing some nice weather, and trying to make the most of it.
Yeah, wow. And, mate, still going strong. I know that you are doing a second book. We can say that, can't we? I hope so, because the millions of listeners are now knowing that. But you're getting through that, and it's been, as you said, a bit of fun.
Yeah, so the last one I had plenty of time to write, and this one's got a bit of time pressure. So I'm working very hard on it, but it's writing good books.
Wife, kids, family, and doing all of that. Yeah, I can imagine you're having a good time. Busy boy, we'll call you.
That's right.
Mate, people are loving your simple recipes, what you've been giving us over the last few months, and I'm sure you've got something again. So people, pens and papers ready. What are we going to be cooking today, Harry?
We're going to do a Thai fried rice. The good thing about this is you can make it in bulk and it reheats. I reckon it actually reheats better than the first time you cook it.
Oh.
So it's a really good one to pre-make. A lot of people like to make stuff at home and then whack it in a Ziploc or whatever and bring it with them. And this is a ripper you can make. You can just keep frying it up for days on end.
Yeah, wow. I've even got my notebook and a little pen because I've got to admit, people that watch Correct Your Coast that are listening have probably seen some of your recipes on the show, Harry.
Great idea.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right, mate. How do we do it?
All right. So this one's relatively easy. It's just a little bit of prep, really.
Yep.
So we start off with a wok, of course, because fried rice wok, or just a big pan.
Yep.
Lots and lots of heat. But the main thing to do is just get your little things ready because it all happens very quickly. Yep. So we're going to dice up a couple of garlic cloves, half an onion, 3 spring onion whites, the white bits, the woody bits, You want about 250 grams of prawns or some other kind of protein. If you've got a bit of fish, whatever you've got really, just get that ready. Beat up a couple of eggs, and then you want to mix up a little bit of sauce. So 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 2 tablespoons of fish sauce, and a teaspoon of sesame oil. You can obviously add in some chili and stuff if you like. And then you can either get some day-old rice, but realistically, if you're camping and on the road, you don't have day-old rice sitting around. So just get one of those microwave rice things and add 2 tablespoons of water to that. And that's all you need. That will do the same thing as your day-old rice because it breaks apart easily. It does all the day-old rice things, which is perfect for fried rice. All right, and then all you need to do, absolutely crank that heat on the pan, and you want to chuck in your garlic cloves, your onion, your spring onion, and your eggs.
Yep.
Quickly stir them around. You probably only want to have them in there for 90 seconds before you start adding the rest of the stuff. And then you just whack in your prawns, your rice, and your sauce. So basically everything else. And you just give it a good stir around, make sure that it's a consistent colour, and then you leave it on that really hot heat, because what you want to do is get a bit of brown on the rice, and the only way to do that is to not stir it. So you want it to just sit there and cook on the bottom of the pan and get a little bit of crust on it. And you probably only stir it twice. You cook it for about 5 minutes, you stir it twice, and that's it. Pour it in, done. Chuck a little bit of the greens from the spring onion on top, and garnish whatever you want, a bit of fried shallots or some sesame seeds or something like that, a bit of coriander if you feel like it. That's it. And then that'll reheat really well, but don't do it in the microwave. Don't do it in low heat. When you reheat it, absolutely crank that pan again and do exactly the same thing. You want to get another layer of crust.
Yeah, that's a good tip, because I know myself, and a lot of people listening, microwave, we just heat it there. No, get the pan out, crank it again, and give it another crust.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to make it really fresh, you add a little bit more sesame oil instead of normal oil.
Yes.
And really add to the flavour. And you can, like I said, you can keep doing that time and time again.
Yeah, and as you said, people on the road, if you know you're going to have a couple of days on the road, you can do that at home, have it ready, pull out the pan, heat it up, and away you go for days.
That's it.
Yeah, yum, yum, yum. So, mate, I know people can chase you, Harry Fisher Fire to Fork, all your socials, you're online, you've got a YouTube channel. You are everywhere, my friend. Have I missed anything? Well, people can follow you up.
No, that's it, mate. That's it. You'll find me on the internet.
No, we sure will. If you out there want to get hold of his book, Fire to Fork, Adventure Cooking, it's pretty simple. You need to jump onto the website, everythingcaravancamping.com.au. Hey, it's always good chatting, Harry. We'll chat again next week.
Good to chat. See you, Scotty.
Let's go.
Now, don't forget to head to the Everything Caravan and Camping podcast page at everythingcaravancamping.com.au. Sign up to the newsletter for your chance to win a $50 voucher to spend on the ECC marketplace. Catch up on all of our ECC episodes. Go to where you get your podcasts, or it's pretty simple. Head over to the website, everythingcaravancamping.com.au.
Let's go.
Okay, it's that time of the podcast. We catch up with the great Jason Filippini in studio. How are you, mate?
Scotty, I am sensational. How are you today?
I'm good now. You got through the silly season.
Yeah, look, Christmas is wonderful, but I tell you what, I'm alive.
But I guess you were full. I know all your ECC parks. You manage all 5 on the Sunshine Coast. Full, and give or take, it went smoothly. Is that fair to say?
Look, mate, it was an amazing season.
Yeah.
I think everyone had a great time.
Yep.
And all the parks were bustling. And, look, the weather was, how are you going? But other than that, it was brilliant. And people just got back to camping. It was really good.
And the park we're going to feature today, and I know living here on the coast all of my life, it's one that people talk about. They think they've got to book years in advance, and you're going to tell me they probably do. But
they probably do.
Cotton Tree on the water there. It is, mate, it's location. The river's right there. It's a special little part of the world.
It is a special part of the world. And look, Cotton Tree, it's the oldest park in Queensland.
Is it really? I didn't know that.
The Salvos had a camp there in the 1800s.
Get out. Yeah, okay.
And that's when it became a campground. Yeah. So all the way back then. Yeah. But so it's one of the largest parks in Queensland, and it is the oldest in Queensland. It is iconic. Yeah. It personifies so many people's growth and going through the camping industry, especially in Queensland. Yeah. But even people from Australia. It's one of those parks that everyone wants to go to. Yeah. So it's brilliant.
And I also find, Jace, that it's generational. Like, you must have kids that you've seen or know of that have been there and now adults and got their kids there, because I'm going to book that site for 10 years in a row.
Yep, it's generational, and they have been coming for 50 years. I think the longest one I've heard of, a family, and this one lady, she'd been coming since 1965.
Wow, there you go.
And she's now a grandmother, and she's got all the great-grandmother, I think she is now. Yeah. And when I saw her at Christmas, and so, she's got all the generations camping around her. Good on her. So it is such an iconic place to be. Yeah. And this camping culture we've got is nothing new. Yeah. It's something we've been doing forever.
Yeah. So, mate, sell the park. Tell us, you got cabins, you got powered sites, unpowered. Paint me a little picture.
So, look, Cotton Tree being that wonderful park that it is, it's one of the biggest parks in Queensland. It's certainly the oldest, and it's got so much to offer, and we're doing so much there. So we've got 170 sites.
What? Is it that big? I didn't realise.
It's a massive park, and we've got about 12 cabins. We've got a beautiful beach house. We've got amenity blocks. We've got 5 amenity blocks. We've got a camp kitchen.
5 amenities.
5 amenities.
Yeah, wow.
camp kitchen. We've built a brand new camp kitchen just the other month, and we opened it for Christmas. It's going gangbusters. But the exciting thing that we've got going on now is I've recently taken over that park and changed a few things, and we're building new things. We've created a really large outdoor entertainment space at the front of the park. Okay. And I've just finished it, and it's got this big, beautiful fence around it. It's open space. It's going to allow us to put movies on. It's going to allow us to potentially put a licensed bar in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you could have someone strumming on a guitar, I'm guessing, with a cold beverage.
Cold beverages.
Wow, that's exciting.
We're looking at maybe even putting a little food offering of German sausage and beer. It's going to be a beer garden.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a family-friendly beer garden where we're going to be able to have music, we're going to have movies, we're going to have painting, table tennis and chess sets. And we're really...
Next level. We're talking next level. Yeah.
Next level. We're trying to take something that is an outstanding campground and turning it into a resort feel. Yeah. And I've got to tell you, I've literally just finished it this morning, and I was down there and we were putting down the last little bit of grass. It looks amazing. So I've got more things coming because we're going to be doing this bar. We're going to do some other stuff. Yeah. So it is actually going to be sensational. So we're going to have probably the best park in Queensland.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. And location-wise, just paint a picture for those that have heard about it, never been. It's virtually right on the river. So for swimming, fishing, etc., it's literally 10 steps.
Yep. So it's full coastal. 2 sides are coastal, 1 surf. Yep. And then we come around the mouth of the river and we're into the calmer waters. Yep. And it's a majorly popular beach on the riverside, particularly by locals as much as it's the holiday park makers. Yeah. And so it's right there. You can go fishing, you can go surfing, you can go for a walk. You can get out the front at the riverside and you can walk east and go around the point, and you can walk all the way to Mooloolaba Spit. Yeah, wow. On the water. This has got so much to offer. And
in terms of getting a coffee, something to eat, you've got surf clubs at the shops. It's all there.
Yeah, it's got a great community right outside the gate. We've got the IGA Style Shore Food Works it is. Yeah. We've got the coffee club. We've got local coffee providers. It's all there. We've got everything. Yeah. It is just...
Is it pet friendly, Jace?
No.
Okay, good. That's a point. No.
Yeah, no, not pet friendly at the moment. Yeah. The one up the road is Maroochydore, just up the road. Yeah. Brand new pet friendly.
You wouldn't manage that.
I might. But no, look, it is just one of those places. It's magic. It's massive. Yeah. And you really get an amazing feel of being part of something.
Yeah, Cotton Tree. So where can people check it out?
If they go to the website, eccparks.com.au, follow the links and go straight through and get online and make a booking. Call the girls. Or go through our Facebook pages, our Instagrams. They all go back to it. Get on there and say g'day to the girls, make a booking, and it is hard to get sometimes.
I was going to say, it is busy, isn't it? Like you need to book in advance.
You need to book in advance, but I tell you what, it's worth the wait.
Yeah.
It is excellent.
On being a Sunny Coast lad myself, I am a bit biased, but it is a special park.
Absolutely. It's just one of those things. It's something you must do in your life.
Look at you, you're like talking about one of your children you are, Jace. Hey, mate, always good to chat, and let's hope people check out and come and say g'day to you at Cotton Tree.
Thanks, Scotty. See you soon.
And in terms of parks, there's 65 throughout Australia and New Zealand. Now, if you head to everythingcaravancamping.com.au, you can purchase an ECC Parks Family Parks Travel Reward membership. Now, it's only $30. Now, this membership, the things it gives you is crazy. 10% off your stay at all of the ECC Parks and Family Parks destinations throughout Aussie here and over in New Zealand. You get discounts and deals while you travel with their rewards. You get the third night free. You get voucher. You get an entry card to their frequent camper competition. So for $30, you can't go wrong. So be sure to jump onto the website and check it out. Well, there we go for another week. Absolute blast here. We're Everything Caravan and Camping podcast. Don't forget, if you've got any questions, you want to raise an issue, you want a question for any of the people we talk to, we can do that easily. If you send us an email, podcast@everythingcaravancamping.com.au. Be safe out on the roads if you are travelling anywhere. See you next time.
Come on. Let's go. They've got everything. Everything Caravan and Camping. They've got everything.